So earlier this week, MLB the Show tweeted out that we are getting Team Affinity 3 on Wednesday, July 12th. And they said in this tweet that these are going to be current 2021 All-Star players, or at least that's what is assumed based on the wording that they put out there. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a guess at who that one big diamond, good diamond represented by each team. We're not going to take a guess at any other diamonds that may be in there. I don't know what they plan on doing for that, but at least we're going to take a shot at who we think those bigger diamonds are going to be, what current players will likely get flashbacks for this new series of cards they're coming out with, and what we can expect for Team Affinity 3. Let's get into it. So Team Affinity 3 is inbound. Team Affinity, in case you guys don't know and are newer to the game, is a great avenue to earn players for free just by offline grinding the game. You don't have to do anything super difficult or super tedious with Team Affinity. It's just something where if you want to grind out all the players and start building up and adding up your team, all you have to do is complete showdowns, complete missions, and do a multitude of things to help yourself get some good players. Also, I will have a tutorial like our other Team Affinities that dropped on how to complete this the most efficient way possible. We did it with no showdowns before and showed how you can do it then. But I think I'll give a video for this one coming up on just the most efficient way to do it, whether you're doing showdowns or not. We're going to go through it all whenever Team Affinity comes out on the 12th, so you want to wait for that, make sure you hit that sub button down below and hit that notification bell. So these players are going to be added in Team Affinity 3. They seem to be based off of All-Stars, the current All-Stars. And we just found out yesterday who the starting roster is and the reserves. At this point, they aren't the final rosters because over the next week, you'll see players are going to be backing out of the game based on when they pitched, or maybe some players are injured like Mike Trout, and so they'll seek replacements. And this could change over the week. So I am going to leave a link to the spreadsheet in the comments down below. So if you are watching this closer to the release of the All-Star content in the All-Star game, you may want to check that after I go through this list, so you can see if I updated anything. And this is just a guess at the end of the day. These are my opinions. There's no real factual argument here. This is just me taking knowledge based on what we've gotten from Team Affinity in games past, and just in general what we could expect based on what the game is given before. We have all the teams written down. We're gonna take a guess on the likely player for the All-Star series that was announced on Twitter. Just to clarify, it is All-Stars. Earn your favorite team's 2021 All-Star Series diamond. So to be clear, this means a current 2021 All-Star. It isn't a flashback from another year or a legend. It is a current 2021 All-Star. There is at least one player on every team for the All-Star game each year. So you would like to guess that every team will have one player at least. These cards will be at least 96 to 99. That's a safe guess there, but I would like to guess 97 to 99. They'll be in that range, and you could likely see collection awards like the 42 series, where if you collect a bunch of the players you unlock more players. Remember, if you had the 42 series, you get Larry Doby, Minnie Minoso, and guys like that. And you'll likely see the same kind of thing for the All-Star game. The Yankees, the three options are Chapman, Judge, and Garrett Cole. I think all of them could be viable. All of them would be solid cards. But I would like to guess Garrett Cole won't be it, just because he has a couple opportunities for a flashback. You know, Cole is someone that usually does good enough each year to earn a finest at the end of the year. And if someone on the Yankees doesn't get this All-Star card, they could potentially earn, like, say, a finest card at the end of the year, but we don't know. My guess is going to be a Judge, though. I think Judge is my go-to guess. He would have diamond defense, all-around hitting, and this would give him that 97-plus card. But I think this Judge, if we were to get him, would be a potential 99 candidate. They could even do something where maybe they give us Chapman and they make Judge one of the collection players you earn. Cole, I feel like, won't get it. I don't know why I feel that, but just my gut telling me that, but they could do anything. But my guess is going to be Judge. All right, so the Red Sox. I think the guys are Devers, Bogarts, and Eovaldi. I'm leaning towards Devers or Eovaldi. But low-key, I'm thinking Eovaldi could be the guy. He would be a very good pitcher. It would be like that 85 one, but he'd probably have a lot better per nines. And they would really show him some love on the attributes. JD Martinez would be underwhelming because of the lack of defense. The Red Sox have options. The Evaldi could be a very viable one. Blue Jays, they have between Teoscar Hernandez and Vlad. Also, they got Bo Bichette. I do feel that we're going to get Teoscar. I think Teoscar Hernandez is going to be the guy. So, like, those would be options as well. But likely, again, you won't see Vlad because he'll get maybe an end game card. Or they would even consider making him one of the collection type players you get. Orioles, I think it's just Cedric Mullins. And he's likely going to be the guy. Another Cedric Mullins. That'll be the third Cedric Mullins, but probably the last one we would get. Unless they did, like, finals at the end of the year. This card would be like a 97 to 99. I would say 97. Probably super high contact. Like 70 to 80 power in that range. Like a very nice center fielder. Actually, I don't know if Mancini, he's in the Derby, not the All-Star game. Mancini will get a home run Derby card, though. I think Zunino is it. I think Zunino's it for the Rays. And I'll tell you what, we get an All-Star Mike Zunino. Oh my God, dude. I would be freaking out. Zunino is one of my favorite BR cards. Now we move on to the AL Central. The White Sox have Carlos Rodon, Liam Hendricks, and on the offense, do they have anyone in the offense? I don't think so. I think it's just Rodon and Hendricks. Yeah, and Lynn, Rodon, Hendricks. Those are the three. I could see Rodon. I really could see Rodon being the guy. Just kind of like a feel thing. Rodon could get a high 90s starter card without much issue. Lance Lynn is someone who has pitched well in years past, so I wouldn't bank on him because if they really want to give us a Lance Lynn, they could give us one from like multiple years that would be solid. But Rodon could be very nasty. I know we do have the tops now, Rodon. That could be the thing keeping him away. The Indians, they have Jose Ramirez and Shane Bieber. And this one is an interesting one. J-Ram, it would be very solid. He'd have positional versatility, but also J-Ram was very good last year. He's had multiple finest cards in the game. He could be a card that is brought back. Shane Bieber could be one as well. But we've also had Shane Bieber cards in the past. I think the better one would be J-Ram. I feel like he would be the guy they would go for. So we'll do that. The Royals have, starting, they don't have anyone, I don't think. Salvador Perez. That's it, right? Is Salvi the only one? Which is an interesting case because he already was in Team Affinity before. And he'll likely get a home run derby card. Unless he just plan on ignoring him and not giving him one. On the reserves, there's no one else here, so... For the Tigers, it looks like Gregory Soto, lefty reliever. If they make it, I mean, his stuff is going to be nasty. Gregory Soto is going to be a nasty reliever, dude. And the Twins, their only guy looks like Nelson Cruz. We're getting a boosted Nelson Cruz again. Seems about right. Angels have options. The Angels have Jared Walsh, Mike Trout, and Shohei Ohtani. I think Walsh is likely to be the Angels card, because Ohtani and Trout are likely to have opportunities to get boosted cards at other points. Ohtani already does have a boosted card in the game, but will likely get one by the time the end of the year comes around, since he is the MVP conversation right now. The A's only looks like we have Matt Olsen. And the interesting thing about this is a lot of people argue that Matt Olsen might get the Lightning card for the monthly. He had a great month and he would be someone viable for the Lightning. But if he's the only A's option for the All-Star game, that could really see him not getting the Lightning. It just makes sense to just give him the All-Star card, and that would be it for him. And if they give him a Lightning, it doesn't make sense to give him like a 97, 98, 99 Matt Olsen, and then give us this one, which would virtually be the same thing. And the Astros have a couple. They have Altuve and Correa. They also have Ryan Presley as a reliever. They're interesting. They also have Michael Brantley. You may see Michael Brantley here. And this would be an interesting one because Brantley is someone that has had flashback cards in the game, so they could give him a flashback, and they could do a Correa. Correa would be probably my next guess. Presley could be an interesting reliever, though, but I feel like they can't do too many relievers. Gotta think about how much it takes to earn these TA cards. And for a diamond, they won't do many relievers, I don't think. So I'm leaning towards Brantley. If it's not Brantley, I say Correa. I feel like for the Rangers, I feel like Adolis Garcia just makes too much sense. I think Garcia just makes way too much sense for this. I would love a Gallo, don't get me wrong, but we already got one Gallo through Team Affinity. and Gallo has been this good, maybe they throw him in the monthly program. So he had a great month last month, and maybe they just elect to do it that way. But Gallo, Gibson are the other options. All right, for the Mariners, it looks like the Mariners have Kikuchi, and that's it right now. Starter, you say Kikuchi, might not be too bad. The interesting thing with the Mets is their only all-star player right now is Jacob deGrom. And the thing that is weird about this is that Jacob deGrom is likely going to be the NL Cy Young at this rate and would likely get a end-of-the-year card. But as of right now, he can be the only guess for the Mets because he is the only player on the team. Unless they find some way to mix Home Run Derby in and find a way to get Pete Alonso in there, I think deGrom would be the guy. The Nationals have options. It's interesting. They have Schwarber. They have Soto. Trey Turner. 3 really fun cards that we could get. And I feel like there are 2 things that could go down here. They give Schwarber one of the monthly cards or a lightning card and don't give him the all-star card and save that for Trey Turner. Or they intentionally don't give Schwarber a monthly card for him being the all-star card. But I lean toward Schwarber getting one of the monthlies for last month and them giving us Trey Turner. You know what? I'm going to change my guess. I'll say Juan Soto. Chad did point out Trey Turner does already have a cycle card. I mean, he has a cycle this year. I mean, he's had multiple cycles in years past. And that could be a boosted Trey Turner. I like that. And Juan Soto for this year could be this card. I like that. Marlins. Trevor Rogers is the only guy I see on the reserves. So I'm going to guess Trevor Rogers. The Braves, they have Acuna, Freeman, and Albies. But I think it's going to be Albies. Freeman, you know, will likely could get an MVP card from last year or some other boosted card. And I think Acuna is almost like a Trout, a deGrom, or an Ohtani, where he may be too good for this kind of thing. Because that's a 99 inbound that would be, no doubt, super great. The Phillies, they got between JT Realmuto and Zach Wheeler. And I would like to say Wheeler, but Wheeler does have a boosted card already this year, and Realmuto does not. I think that would be a likely option. We do have a couple catchers in here. So the Cubs have some options. They have Chris Bryant and Craig Kimbrell. And this is interesting because both of them had really good years in years past. Like, they could both get, like, say, an award or some boosted card. But honestly, I could really see this being KB. I really, like I said, don't think you're going to see many relievers. But Kimbrell is an option because he has had a great year this year. So for the Cardinals, it's between Arenado and Reyes. Got to be Arenado. Alex Reyes would be sick. But again, you have to think for TA, I don't really picture many of the big guys being relievers. But, you know, maybe they do, like, add some of them in elsewhere. Pirates is between Brian Reynolds and Adam Frazier. I feel like Frazier would be the guy just because he's a second baseman, and there aren't many. However, Brian Reynolds is an option. And honestly, Reynolds could get a monthly card. So you could see Reynolds get a monthly card for last month, and Frazier get an all-star card. The Reds have Winker and Castellanos, right? I would lean towards Castellanos, just because he doesn't have a boosted card this game. Winker is a backup option now. And then for the Brewers, they have Josh Hader, Brandon Woodruff, and Corbin Burns. I'm leaning Brandon Woodruff. He doesn't have a boosted card this year. Diamond starter. And he could play pretty nice, but Burns and Hader are options. Now for the NL West, the Dodgers have options. They have Mookie. They have Muncy and Chris Taylor. Ugh. I mean, like, I want to say Chris Taylor, but I feel like he'd be a little underwhelming. Like, he would be, like, not an exciting name, almost like Michael Brantley, where it's just like, eh. But he could be the most reasonable one. Betts has opportunities to get flashbacks and other cards, so I don't think it'll be Mookie. Chris Taylor could be a viable one, but he'd be a little underwhelming. And Max Muncy already was a TA card, so I don't know if they plan on doing another Muncy for TA. And I'm going to lean, you know, I'll lean Muncy for the Dodgers. For the Padres, they got Tatis, Cronenworth, and Mark Melancon. And Yu Darvish. I'm leaning towards Yu. I feel like Yu Darvish might be who I guess. But they also have Cronenworth, who is an option. We are getting a few second basemen out of this so far, though. Tatis. Melanson. All right, Rockies. The only player they have is German Marquez, who is already in Team Affinity. But, you know, that's really it. Too bad McMahon didn't make the all-star team, though. We have Eduardo Escobar, and that looks like it. And then finally, for the Giants, Kevin Gossman, Brandon Crawford. I'm leaning Gossman just because he doesn't have a card right now. And we do have a boosted Crawford already. I feel like Gossman would be a very solid starter. We will put down as well Crawford. Also, Posey's starting a catcher, right? It could be Posey, but I feel like we have a couple catcher options. I don't know if they need another one. Chat, give me a rating check. 1 to 10. How do you guys think I did with this? How do you guys think I did with my guesses? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm obviously going about this assuming they're not going to add any relievers as the big diamonds just because, you know, think about doing 4 showdowns. You know, a lot of people may not be happy with the reliever, but also they may be because at this point in the year, we're starting to get the teams built up and they may fill in these with relievers. Maybe they do end up doing Chapman, Hendricks, Reyes, and maybe they do go all in on relievers, but I'm leaning towards no, but we'll see how they go about it. We'll see how it goes though.